Hi again then guys, and so we've got another updated prototype tune for you today, and this time it's for the Team Oreca version of Audi's R8. Slightly different specs to the regular version. It weighs 50 kilos more, but it also has 36 horsepower more, and also 2 pp lower. So an advantage of having more power in a slightly lower pp is never a bad thing. So you want your racing soft tyres. As far as suspension, again, pretty much the same as most of these other updated prototypes. Lowest ride height at the back, 10mm higher at the front, springs on 17, dampers on 1 for compression, 3 for extension, anti-roll as low as possible, camber and toe neutral. For the gearbox, you want an auto setting of 280, then for the individual gears we've got 3.2, 2, 1.4, 1050, 825 and 600, with a final drive of 3.3. For the diff, low initial torque of course, high acceleration and low braking. You want your high RPM turbo obviously, and your downforce set to a minimum. Traction control is of course turned off. And like I said, this is a pretty good alternative, I would say, to the more widely used silver version of the R8, the Infineon liveried version. And this version is a slightly different looking car to that model, especially the rear wing. The rear wing is considerably different in design. It has these box section winglet arrangements on the ends of the wing, which is completely different to the silver version. Overall, both cars are very good. The Audi R8 has always been a very strong all-round race car since it was introduced on GranTurismo back on GT4. But this, well, would I say it's better? I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say this car's better than the other one, it's just different. As I said, they both have their advantages. The silver version is lighter, so perhaps more inclined towards track use, because 50 kilos is a big difference, whereas this model has more power and a better top speed, so perhaps more on high speed tracks this would be the model to go for. They both have very distinctive handling as well. They are considerably different to each other. Again, not surprising considering the different wing, the different weight and the different power output. As far as performance on this one, we've increased it by around 10 miles per hour like many of these other tunes, slightly quicker than the other model at 283 miles per hour, sits right before the red line. As far as draft potential, I'm not sure exactly where this car redlines, but I think you've probably got around 400 or 500 RPM before you hit the real redline. So, of course, as always, if you do need it to do more than that in draft, more than say 290-ish or 295 in draft, then obviously just, as with all of these, extend the final drive a little bit lower. But overall, like the other R8, it's a very strong performance car. This model seems to be slightly more underappreciated as far as the prototypes go. I don't see many people using this one. It does have kind of a toyish image compared to the silver version. It looks a little bit less polished, a little bit, not cheap, but a little bit more toyish in its colours, more like a Hot Wheels car than the silver with red or silver with yellow on the 2001 version. But overall, it's a very strong car, like most of the German prototypes in fact. And if you're new to the channel, or just found this updated prototype tune helpful in general, feel free to check out my other updated tunes that I've put out over the past week or so. And feel free to subscribe in general if you're interested in top speed tunes, drag tunes, reviews, etc. And as always, thanks for watching.